through it and feel those emotions.
Oh, you've got to. I mean, and that is the one thing. Like, you've got to sort of get your ass kicked by the markets, really, and realize that, look, the markets are neutral. They don't care about it. Doesn't care about your feelings. Do you know what I mean? It's still going to do what it wants to do, and you've just got to accept it and take. One thing that I'm still struggling with, but accept the wins for the same way that you would accept a loss.
Mhm.
It sounds a bit contradictory, but you have to have that same sort of feeling attached to it. A loss is a loss, and a win is a win.
Any significant experience that you've had in your life that has kind of molded you into the person you needed to be a trader? So like outside of trading, just something personal that's made you kind of be a better trader for that experience.
Um,
Hey.
Hi, are you all right?
Hey, yes, I'm good, thank you. Are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
That is good. So, for everyone watching at home, would you like to give us your name and where you are from?
So my name's James Doyle, and I'm from England, High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire.
It's so great to have another English trader on. I love having our Brits.
There's a few of us coming through the ranks.
There is recently. I love it, especially with Bespoke as well. Obviously, we're UK based, so it's great to have like the English people on.
Yeah, you're starting to see a lot. I've noticed that a few more people are in the Discord, and a few more people getting funded, and it's
Yeah,
good.
it's great. I love to see it. So, how did you get into trading?
So I think, like quite a few people, really, you sort of start off with signals. So you got into see chart work and stuff on social media and stuff, and then you're like, oh, what's this about? And then you see some guy saying, "Oh, pay me £20 a month, and you can be a part of my signal group." Get involved in that, sign up to their broker, realize, yeah, this isn't what it's all about. You end up blowing money here, there, and everywhere, and just got a bug for it, really. Then come across the mentor that I'm still with, really. He's like gone through different mentor courses with other sort of people, and now he's solely on his own, which is Alex FX.
Oh,
And just started learning that way, really, and change strategies. I mean, it was, as everything, retail, so like your Head and Shoulders, double tops, and look, it works for people. I'm not here to say that it doesn't, but didn't really work for me. You sort of noticed that your losses were a lot more frequent, and the stop losses were just emotionally draining when when you're going for a one-to-one. So yeah, just tried different strategies and stuck with what I'm doing now, which is sort of swing trading.
okay then. That's interesting. A lot of people tend to come into this industry through the signals. And I think as bad as they can be, I'm not going to say all signals are terrible because there are some good ones out there. But majority of them are awful. But as bad as they are, I think it is getting a lot of people into the industry. So if you have got some kind of sense and you can realize that, okay, right, these are terrible, but I can see that there's something in this if I can do this properly, then it kind of makes sense for people. So signals, they can do some good for the industry.
They can. It's not. I mean, yeah, as you said, the signals aren't terrible. You do have people that are just there milking people's money from them, but it does give you it gives you the bug to try and get involved. And if you then understand and look at the information that's out there and actually get a bit of a passion for it, I think then it develops into something else, and where you then go down the different rabbit holes. And but yeah, as I said, that there is you. I have seen quite a few like companies now, or people that are pushing signals, and they are okay, I suppose. But it all depends on what they're charging. I don't really want to
100%. I think they range
know.
from anywhere from like £20 to like £200 a month.
Yeah, and
Uh,
get a little percentage off of what trade you're putting on.
yeah, literally. So how long have you actually been trading for? Or like how long ago since you actually found out about trading?
Um, Probably about 4.5 years, coming up to 5 years now.
Okay.
Um, So been on and off throughout that, taking steps back, realizing that my mind's not in the right place to, because mindset is a massive thing. And yeah, I realized then taken sort of 2, 3 months away from it, still looking at the charts and watching price action and stuff, but then just mainly working on your mindset to be able to sit on your hands and not having the fear of missing out and everything like that. That is what, because I mean, there's opportunities daily. I mean, every candle close, there's an opportunity on some sort of time frame for you to get involved in. But if it doesn't fit your plan, walk away, not click, 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 click.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And we've all been there. Like,
Oh yeah, and then revenge
sure.
trading off of the back of that, and yeah, oh I've lost. Oh, it's gonna go, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I've blown a few accounts. But
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there.
yeah.
And I think it's like, as much as it's horrible and it's hard at the time to go through those things, I do think it's necessary to actually
Mm.
go through it and feel those emotions.
Oh, you've got to. I mean, and that is the one thing. Like you've got to sort of get your ass kicked by the markets really, and realize that look, the markets are neutral. They don't care about it. Doesn't care about your feelings. Do you know what I mean? It's still going to do what it wants to do, and you've just got to accept it and take. One thing that I'm still struggling with, but accept the wins for the same way that you would accept a loss.
Mhm.
It sounds a bit contradictory, but you have to have that same sort of feeling attached to it. A loss is a loss, and a win is a win.
100%, 100%. It's like the whole thing where people say like you have to trade like a robot and have no emotion towards whether it's a win or a loss. It's just data.
Mm.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that we are human and we have these emotions that we are constantly fighting against the traders.
And it's the different techniques you can do, and I think what was it? It was I think it was in Alb's interview on Sunday where he said that it was about seeing, like, which is what Rewired sort of teaches you, is to see yourself from above or from outside of yourself before you click that button and
Yeah.
taking yourself away from it. And it is very much that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got that emotion and basically like the chimp paradox as well, where you've got that monkey on your shoulder that's telling you just acting upon instinct rather than what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. Instinct is impulse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So work, yeah, so it's just taking yourself away from it, and it's slowly getting there, but August isn't I don't think the nicest of months.
It's not, and I think that's a great point to talk about. Actually, summer markets, how have you found summer markets?
Not great. As I said, the way that I trade is a swing trade method, targeting sort of daily highs or at least getting to 5R and taking 50% partials off and getting break even at the first sort of internal structure break.
Okay.
But I've noticed this month the internal structure break has happened, but for me to go break even, it has to be a closed body candle. It hasn't been. It's swept the liquidity, hasn't closed, wicked, and then it's just reversed and taken me out. And that's happened quite a few times, and you're like, nah, we go again. So it's that sometimes that robotic approach of it fitting your plan. I think in August it hasn't. It doesn't matter. I think your plan, people's plans probably change within August, and they think that their system's whack, but it isn't. It's just the market.
100%. I couldn't put it any better than that, to be honest. It literally is. And for you guys watching at home, like, you all know, I have been preaching this. Summer markets, it is not you. It's not your strategy. I promise, like, it is the market. Even if you could have been trading for the whole year, you could have been on a winning streak for the entire year and know that your strategy works. It will come to summer and then you'll start have a losing streak and you'll question your whole strategy. But it's not your strategy. The markets just move so different during the summer, because summer markets, we have very low liquidity and also a lot of manipulation in the markets. So it's literally just you're fighting against yourself. And if you do want to trade during summer, then you're going to have to do a lot of back testing and have experience from the previous summer to know exactly what to do for the following summer. Just adapting little things of your strategy, for example, like your risk to reward, how long you're holding a trade for, just little adaptations that you can make. For example, for me personally, I am getting into swing trading a lot more, so I'm being a lot more patient with my trades and holding them for longer. But when it comes to summer markets, I am literally just in, out, take what the market's got to give me, and I'm running away with my profits, because the market will literally, for example, you'll have a bullish engulfing candle, the next 5 candles will completely reverse that whole entire move, and you're like, okay, but hold on a minute, my mentor said that a bullish engulfing means that it's going to continue going up. But no, summer markets, it will literally do the complete opposite and take the whole move out plus more.
Well, I think we had one in the community the other day where, because me personally, I only trade EU, so it was the yeah, it mitigated a 4 hour it mitigated a 4 hour demand. It had I don't like saying it, but I'm going to say it. It said that we had to change a character outside of it, the chop, so the trend shift, and then went down to the 15 minute, had the trend shift on the 15 minute again, picked the entry block, got tapped in 2 candles, and then it just reversed and went down. It was like, well, that setup maybe a month ago would have been probably at least would have got to break even before it went down there. It was just it just didn't move, and now we're now looking for a new entry, but we have to wait, sit on your hands, and hopefully they don't go numb waiting for a trade.
I love that. I love that, literally. But you know what? I do have a student myself who he messaged me recently, and he's like, right, I haven't placed a trade this week, but I'm scared. Like, am I gonna get back into it? And like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, thank the Lord that you're listening to me and actually taking a break from the charts, because summer markets, it would just eat you alive, especially if you're a newbie and you don't know what's going on. Like, he has literally got his strategy down to a T now. So I know that he can do it, but if he's going to try and trade during summer, then he's going to have a mental shock.
Yeah.
So it's just important for people to understand, like, summer
It's the
market.
emotional battle that you then end up having with yourself, which then, yeah, it destroys your momentum to then you then do get the hesitation to enter something that does hit your setup. Like when the markets are producing in September, you'll be like, oh, is it going to happen again? Am I going to get, and you don't need that. You just need to have that robotic approach really and not let your emotions get the better of you. But
Yeah,
it's
100,
August.
literally 100%. Just be calm through August. Just,
Yeah. Go on holiday for a month.
yeah. Oh, if only.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think, going back to kind of the mindset stuff, do you
Mm.
think that there's been any significant experience that you've had in your life that has kind of molded you into the person you needed to be a trader? So like outside of trading, just something personal that's made you kind of be a better trader for that experience.
Um, I would say it goes back to probably when I was 11, really. I lost my granddad, who had worked all of his life, got to the age of 64, ended up getting that dreaded disease that kills people, and died before he could retire and get his pension. And I just said to myself, look, I'm not going to be working until the age of sort of 64, waiting for a pension. And I set myself something there as a kid, like I'm going to be semi-retired by the time I'm 50. So I then, it sounds a bit morbid, but then I've got at least 14 years to enjoy myself. So that then developed into other things, and then obviously when you get back, when you go out into the rat run of the working world, you sort of then realize this isn't life. Like you're working for someone, you're getting an allocated day's holiday. You got to ask permission if you need to take any time off, and it's more of a sense of freedom, like the freedom that it gives you, and being able to now obviously got a family and kids, be able to be around them a lot more. and see them grow up and be able to give them experiences that I would have wanted but was never able to have really. And look, we all need money. Money isn't everything, but money makes life a lot easier.
Facts. Facts.
So that was it really. Yeah. So that was probably the life-changing thing for me was that. And yeah, we've had ups and downs throughout. Obviously, well, I've had ups and downs, should I say, going through different things. But yeah, that has always been one thing that I've said to myself. I want to be at least financially secure and semi-retired by the time I'm 50. So we'll see.
I love that. And it sounds like you're definitely on your way to doing that.
Well, hopefully by 40 now.
I love that. I love that. But no, it's so true what you say. You know, like it's literally like everyone's just born into this norm of we go to school, go to college, get a good job, work your way up, and then you retire and you die. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
that is
you work all your life to pay off a mortgage and you can't enjoy it. But yeah. So yeah.
exactly. Like that is just literally what we're born into. Like that is the norm. And like I don't fault anyone that is happy to do that and wants to do that, because that is literally what we're taught from the moment that we're born. But then obviously there's a percentage of us that just aren't happy with that and kind of
No.
have to fight against that.
And I think the thing with trading though is that it's not the be all and end all of everything. It just for me, it gives me a stepping stone to be able to potentially then invest into things that were a dream of mine that then become a reality, and be able to put your investments into different things that you might not have been, well, you definitely wouldn't have been able to do when working for somebody. Yeah, okay, even if you go into a job that you earn 100 grand a year, 120 grand a year, you're still not going to be able to achieve, I would say, it depends on people's goals, but most people's goals are far-fetched. But with
Mhm.
trading, they can get that little bit closer to be able to actually make them a reality. And it's a stepping stone. But it becomes your main source of income, but at least you can invest it wisely into other things.
Yeah, 100%. And like you say, even if you do have like a job that is paying you like 100K a year, you're still having to give your freedom for that.
Mm,
It comes at a cost. But with trading, you literally can do it from literally anywhere in the world, doing whatever
anywhere in the world.
time.
And and you got no one to answer to. It's
That's
it's
the best
it's
thing.
it's literally you got nobody on to answer to. At the end as well, it's you've got to beat yourself up if you've made a problem. Like if you've made a mistake, it's your fault.
Yeah,
So you've got self accountability and everything like that. But yeah, it's solely you, and it's your own journey, and you make what you want to make, and you move forward. And yeah, as you said, do it anywhere in the world, sitting on a
yeah.
beach,
Literally,
wherever you
that is the
want.
dream. That is the
Mm.
dream. Yeah, 100%. So, is there anything that you would say you find hard as a trader? And could you would give advice to people at home watching on how you manage it and how you try to overcome it?
So the thing I struggled with was fear of missing out was one thing, and revenge trading.
Mhm.
And since I would say since becoming funded with BFP, really, after a few weeks, I've always worked on mindset. Um, well, this year has been a main predominant factor of working on mindset, and then I ended up getting into the Rewired course,
Okay.
and started working on that, and them sort of feelings have sort of stepped away. But yeah, the main thing was the revenge trading and the fear of missing out. I mean, you're then hunting for trades, and yeah, it's not it's it that is just emotional turmoil, and you're then moody, or you know what I mean? I've taken this amount of percentage loss and stuff like that, but with Rewired, it's helped um just see them for what they are and concentrating on different things for me at the moment. As I said, I mean, there's plenty more to go through, and I've got to go through it again and again. But what it's done for me at the moment, I can't fault it.
I love that. I love that. And shout out to Mark and Ibby because they are phenomenal. I've personally been following them for years. But since obviously I've been with Bespoke, I've got really close to Alb and he raves about them, especially now they've got Rewired as well. He is always on about it, like how amazing it is. Even for
It
him as an experienced trader, he's still picking up gems from it.
well, it started when I first started it. It was it it was strange because it made you realize there's a problem with yourself. So it was like, and then I think I would say your ego got in the way a little bit, and you're like, no, there's not a problem. Like, what?
Yeah.
No. Oh, I'm not going to do this. And then I sort of stepped back and I said, well, hold on a minute. There can't be these amount of people that are saying how good it is. Like, just put your ego to one side, take your pride, and relax and go through it again. And then I started listening to a few bits or the modules that got my back up a little bit and listened to them again and actually then relaxed and took the value from it. So as I said, now I will go through it again and again, just with a bit better of an open mind, really.
You know what? I love the honesty though, because I think it is so important for people to understand that we go through these things. Like
Mm,
when you're on a journey of becoming a trader, you are literally fighting against every natural instinct that you have, and ego being the absolute biggest one. I think, and as I said, us people who don't want to live up to that norm of like living a normal life and getting a job and retiring and then dying, we all have a massive ego because we
mm.
know that there's more from life and we're not willing to accept what the norm standard is. So I think we all generally do have a massive ego. Like I don't there's no one I've met that hasn't had to fight against that ego. So I think you being honest about that, for anyone watching at home that is hearing that, you've fought against that ego and you've even bought a course that is telling you everything that
I
you
actually
do the
won it.
opposite of. Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I was about to buy it on that week. I think it was payday week. I won it, so I was going to buy it on that Friday when I got paid, and yeah, I ended up winning on the Monday. So I was like, oh
Love
Jesus,
that.
like, the gods must have been liking me at that point.
Literally, the
Hmm.
universe was like, right, you
Yeah,
mate.
exactly. The power of the secret.
Literally, that is great. But I mean, still stands, you were
Mm.
going to buy it. So everything that is in that course is obviously you said like some of it got you back up because you want to be like, well, no, hold on a minute, I'm right and no one
Just
else can
reality
tell
check.
me.
Reality check.
Yeah,
It's a lot of that really, but yeah. So that is one thing that I would say is that yeah, the thing that I struggled with was those two, and I mean, if anybody is, then just yeah, take a step back and maybe work on those aspects of things to then or find out why it is that you have got the fear of missing out. Is it an external source telling you that you can't do it? And you've got your family that are saying, "Oh, it's a load of you're gambling," or whatever it is. Like you can have these different doubts that come in from different areas, and you then start saying, "Well, no, I'm going to prove it to them. I'm going to do this." Well, no, that's never going to work. You'll end up losing.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I think it's just a massive phenomenon. Like when you come into the trading world, it's something that you can't escape it. And if you want to be consistently profitable, you have to accept that your ego is going to have to be left at the door because you're not always going to be right, and the market will humble you so quickly.
Well, especially if you're trading larger. So, like the plan for me is to get to a larger capital. So, again, if you're trading with sort of well, mine's a 50K funded account. Excuse me. But when you're started then going to the 1 million, 2 million, and then if your ego gets in the way, it will, yeah, as you said, humble you very, very quickly. And all that hard work you've put in to get to that point can be gone within the click of a fingers if your ego gets in the way.
100%, 100%. But like I said, for anyone at home watching, get that ego in check. I
We
promise.
all had to. We
Yeah,
all have to.
we have all had to, and I think it is a continuous journey. I don't think that there's ever going to be a day when, I mean, speaking for myself, I don't think there will ever be a day when I'm like, okay, right, ego in check. I don't have to worry about that anymore. There's always something in life that will bring that ego up, and it is a constant journey of fighting against it because it is a natural human instinct. Like we all have an ego. It's just about kind of dimming it down a little bit and making it realize that it's not always right and it can't always be in control, but it is a constant journey.
You've always got that chimp.
100%. That chimp paradox is
Yeah,
always,
it always there, telling you to the fight and flight, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's always telling you to fight.
literally.
Never tells you to run, just fight.
No, just fight. Especially with the markets. No, no,
Yeah,
fight it.
yeah, and the markets do not care.
No, at all. They do not care about your emotions, about your feelings, about what you think is right. The market is going to do what the market wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So, would you like to show us a little bit of your strategy and just show us a quick example and talk us through what kind of sessions you trade, anything you avoid, and your risk management?
Yeah, so let me share my screen. So basically go from the daily time frame, see what sort of trend we're in. As we can see, it's bullish. So found the order block to trade from. This is actually a trade that I took, or I took continuations to end up passing um, the challenge.
Okay,
So
cool.
once I've found an order block, we've mitigated the order block. I then drop down to the 4 hour, get that, change a character on the 4 hour, pick my demand level off of the back of that, which as we can see is here. Once that's been mitigated, I will then go down to 15-minute. And basically this is where money is printed. So again, came in here, waited for a change of character out of this. I mean, I think if I remember rightly, I did enter a trade here, but as you can see, it lost. Went again with this change of character, entered one here, which I'll play it forward if I can. Yeah, that lost, but it was a split risk trade.
Mhm.
So the way that I do it is if I can see two order blocks there and my usual risk is 1%, um, I flutter between different stop losses. So it'll either be a 10 pip stop loss or a 15 pip stop loss. These were actually 10 pips. So these two were two 2.5 lots each. I would then, once it runs, is it playing?
No,
No. Apologies.
it's okay,
Got the
don't
circle of death.
worry.
So basically, once I'm tagged, I will then wait for an internal breaker structure to go break even. It has to be a closed body candle to constitute it being a internal breaker structure. Once that's done, once it gets, I'll have then an alert set on 5R. I'll take 50% of the trade off at 5R, and then let the rest run to wherever it needs to go. I mean, I would have been targeting on this the daily high, which was miles away,
No way.
uh, which was all the way up there. So, I mean, that was a 42% trade.
Wow.
But again, because you're taking half risk off, I mean, it's still a 20% trade, but I don't think I held the whole thing. Reason being is it was passing, so
Okay, makes sense.
I think it either auto closed me out or I closed it myself when you got above it. But yeah, that's basically it really. Have gone into sort of lower time frame, looking at different things, just testing different things. But this is the go-to sort of strategy that I use on a daily basis. Well, when it presents itself, it's not daily. I wish it was, but it never is. But that's it really. So I mean, I can play it forward a little bit here. So yeah, then that's where I would have gone break even. So that would have been break even. So my stop loss would have covered commission, and then that was it. And then it would have got up to here, and I would have took 50% off.
That's cool. And that's so simple as well.
Yeah, it is a simplistic approach. As I said, like nothing has presented, even though I've said that August has been a bad month, and that's just because of me testing little different things out to try and get something from the markets. And yeah, the markets have again destroyed me and humbled me. But look, we're still got revenue to play with, so I will just wait for something good to present.
Yeah, I love that. So that was the trade that you used to pass your phase two.
Yeah, well, I think, in all fairness, I think that was actually I found a continuation with inside that for phase two. That was
Okay.
phase one. Yeah,
Okay,
so it was that
cool.
trade that passed both. I believe. I can't remember. I think I also took a AU trade as well because at that time I was trading AU as well.
Okay, that's cool. So you have actually recently had a payout, haven't you?
I've had two so now. So
Okay.
yeah, so I've had my first payout was 10%, and then my second payout was eight, I think 8%, something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was good. Yeah,
That
it
is
was
amazing.
yeah, paid to me with the 80% split. It was like what was it, $7,200. So
That is that's amazing.
yeah.
That is amazing. And I'm rightly to say that this is the first firm that you've had a payout from, correct?
Yeah, so I've passed previously with my MFF.
Hmm.
I've had an FTMO pass in the passed in the past. But yeah, used to get them. It's a shiny new thing. Think you're gonna That's it. You're gonna be buying a Lamborghini next week, and again, yeah, the head weren't right. So yeah, lost them. But the thing that I liked and what drew me to BFP was the no time limit.
Hmm.
The drawdown on the balance rather than the equity. It's as close as trading personal capital as you're going to get. You still need to have rules, even if it's your personal capital. You're going to be saying to yourself, right, well, I'm not going to be losing this amount today. You're going to still stop yourself. You're not just going to try and blow your personal account. So it was,
Hmm.
and that is what sort of switched my mindset a little bit, which helped. And
I
yeah,
love
it was good.
That's good. That's amazing. What do you think the switch was? Do you think it was just the fact that there was no time limit on the difference between the FTMO and MFF compared to Bespoke?
Yeah, I do believe that was one of the main things because again, you're adding additional pressure to yourself
Yeah.
when so say for instance that trade that I took, when was it? Monday may have been or yesterday,
Hmm.
and it's lost. Well, that's it. And that was my first trade on the challenge. Right now I've got 30 days or 29 days to pass. But then you've got weekends involved in that. It's August. It's a shit month.
Yeah.
You've then got to get into profit, and then you start hunting, and you then don't ever stick to your plan. And people that do, congratulations to you because you've got a better will than what I would have had at that point.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, before there was the no time limit, which thanks to Bespoke was
Mm.
pushed into the industry. Before
Oh,
that
it's
no
nice to
time
see everybody now jumping on the bandwagon and right. It is nice, and you're like, well, yeah, but you're just following suit now, aren't
Yeah,
you?
100%. And why couldn't you have done this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were all getting into it?
Yeah, and we're all getting our accounts. Like, yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's but that's because it's a big money spin, isn't it? And that's the thing with Bespoke is you can see it's not for me is it's not just about making money. It's also to help traders succeed in the industry, which is what I'm liking. And even with the giveaways, the discounts, and everything like that. Like some people, I've seen some of the reviews. Oh, there's always discounts and stuff like that. Like they're new, and well, yeah, because they want more people in the industry.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are younger guys that have started the company, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're coming from a fresher standpoint than some of the old school.
Yeah,
New
100%.
new school always beats old school anyway.
Exactly. And I think like the management of Bespoke, they have been through it. Like they have come up from trading personals and going to pop firms, and they just realized what was flawed with the old model, and they have just literally taken that and made it better because it needed to be made better. And it just goes to show that now the older firms are following suit from what these young guys created and just literally just made it better.
Yeah, it is, and and as I said, it is like trading as close to a personal account as you can think of. And also the other thing is the drawdown on the balance.
Yeah.
That's a game changer as well, because especially I would say for people that are trading lower time frame and scalping, that probably helps loads as well, where you're taking, do you know what I mean, maybe 10 trades during the course of a day. Your equity could be completely different to your balance.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think what they have done with Bespoke is amazing, and that is obviously one of the reasons I work so closely with them, because I truly believe that they've created something amazing. And like I said, it just goes to show now, because all of the bigger firms are literally just copying what they have kind of pushed into the industry, which is amazing to see, because they've literally changed the industry.
It'd
So
be
yeah.
interesting to. I'd like to see them on a podcast and listen to their journey.
Max, Lewis.
Come on, speak to
Let's
everybody.
get you
Tell us how
on.
it.
Yeah, 100%. That is definitely something that I'm trying to make happen, because we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we do. We want to hear your journey.
Yeah, 100%. So overall, how has your experience been with Bespoke?
Can't fault it really. I mean, even down to the payout side of things. I mean, you know how it is. You first get your first payout, and I did go on the live support. Like, when's it come in? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Come
you're
on.
excited. And they were, yeah, very helpful. Yeah, emailed back. Okay, look, yeah, it wasn't immediately, but come on, I'm not the only. Oh, hang on, James has emailed, but I better email him back
Come on, get
first.
this
Do you know
push
what
through.
I mean? But yeah, no, it was good. I mean, payouts are done very quickly. And as I said, I've never had a payout from another prop firm, but what I've heard is that some prop firms give you new credentials
Mm,
each time you get a payout,
yeah.
whereas with Bespoke, it just resets on the same credentials, so you haven't got to wait, and as soon as it's approved, you can go trading again. You haven't then got to log in to, so it's just streamlined things. Even them little things, it's always the little cogs that have to be turned that make the user experience a lot easier.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's great. It's great to talk to people that have experienced it and can vouch for like what we push every day. Like,
Mm,
we do just genuinely want to see traders win, and like, we don't like to see people failing challenges, because we genuinely want people to win and get payouts, because that helps traders. But obviously that's great for us as well. Like, we
yeah.
get a buzz out of the fact that we get to pay you guys. So it's
And
just,
you're starting to see a lot more like the bigger payouts coming now as well, and stuff like that. And people are actually, and I mean, join the Discord for anybody that is doubting. I mean,
yeah.
you can see everything in there and speak to real people, rather than looking at some of the questionable Trustpilot reviews and what have you.
Yeah, 100%. And if you have any questions, literally just put it in the Discord and you'll get an answer so quick.
Yeah, yeah, from not from loads of people. It is noisy.
Yeah,
If you don't mute it, yeah, it's noisy.
yeah. But we're active. We're such an active
Yeah,
community. It's
exactly.
great. But no, okay. So the final question is, if you've watched our previous interviews, you'll know your final question is from our last guest. So your question is, what is something that has had a profound effect on your trading outside of the norm of the usual trading advice?
Hmm, that's a good one.
I thought this was very deep. When this person asked, I thought,
Repeat it again.
what is something that has had a profound effect on your trading outside of the norm of the usual trading advice?
I think for me with that is, as I said earlier on, with having my youngest child now, it was because since COVID I've been working from home anyway, so I've been working remotely, and even that I'm still missing out on certain things. So I think that just gave me the kick up the backside that was needed to say, like, you know what trading can give you. Trading can give you a more sense of freedom. So are you going to get yourself in check? Are you going to make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed for you to be able to succeed and leave a 9 to 5 job to be able to be there and do the things that you wanted. So I think it wasn't so much advice; it was just more an awareness of myself. Because the advice I think is the same for everybody. It's whether or not you want to take action upon it. So it was taking action really that sort of changed my game a little bit.
Okay, I love that. So what would you say to someone who, what can you take from that to advise someone else?
Just stick at it. I mean, if it is something that if trading is something that you've come into, forget about the money. The money will come as long as you have a trading plan, you have a system, you've worked on your mindset, you've worked on these little incremental things that have to be done. And I would say before looking to maybe trade a prop firm or something like that, trade some personal money, get those emotions, and then work on how those emotions were. Once you've done that, then yeah, crack on and do it, and you'll reap benefits once you put all that work in. Yeah, the only person that's well, nothing's going to stop you really. It'll just be you.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much for jumping on with me. I've really enjoyed this conversation just because it's so nice to talk to someone that is just normal. Like, you're not big on social media, you are from the UK, which I feel like that is like the most normal you can get. You've got kids, and yeah, I just think out of all the guests that we've had, I feel like I can relate to you a lot, and it's been a great conversation. So yeah, thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Thanks for having me on. No, it's been enjoyable. First time I've ever done anything like this. As you said, not big on social media for a reason. But yeah, no, it's been enjoyable, and yeah, it is. Let's hope we keep moving forward and succeeding.
Yeah, 100%. I am 100% rooting for you. And yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think you're going to be doing amazing things in the future. So yeah, good luck with everything in the future, and we will definitely stay in touch anyway.
Definitely.
Perfect. I'll speak to you soon.